one is going to dispute that this family suffered an enormous loss. But then he went somewhere further. But this family has succeeded in moving on with their lives. This family has succeeded in moving on with their lives. Lilia Torres lost her life to the negligence of those 4 doctors. She certainly has not moved on with her life. Rodolfo lost the love of his life because 4 doctors failed to use reasonable care. Carla, Octavio, and Estrella lost the most important person in their lives because 4 doctors failed to do what a reasonably careful physician would do under the circumstances. And Lillian was cheated out of ever meeting the woman who gave her life because 4 doctors treated her in a manner which was neither acceptable nor appropriate. That's what negligence means. The negligent acts of those doctors have haunted this family for the past 1,366 days. That's every single day that little Lillian has been on this earth, and they never get a break from that. In opening statement, defense counsel also said the deepest impact was shortly after Lilia's passing. And of course, those moments were incredibly shocking. But the evidence shows that the impact of these doctors' negligence is present in this family every single day. Every day when Octavio and Estrella come home to a dark, empty house with no music on, the doctor's negligence is right there with them. Every day when Rodolfo pulls up to that house and sits in that car trying to stave off reality for a few minutes, that negligence is right there with him. Every time that Carla looks at her own baby and wishes that she could call her mom for advice, the doctor's negligence is right there with her. And every time that little Lillian, newborn baby Lillian, woke up in the middle of the night needing a bottle and found herself in the arms of her tired, exhausted dad, the doctor's negligence was right there with them. Moving on, this family will never move on. They have no choice but to accept that they will never get back what these doctors took from them. They have no choice but accepting that their wonderful wife and their wonderful mother is never coming back. But they did have choices to make. They could either fall apart or fight to put one foot in front of the other. Rodolfo, who was still a young man himself, made a choice to never quit on those 3 kids that he fell in love with, and to never quit on that newborn baby. Through this all, Rodolfo made a choice to honor the commitment that he made to his wife. The kids made a choice to continue to try to make mom proud, even though she's not here anymore. But it doesn't mean that they don't carry this horrific loss with them every single day. This family hasn't moved on. You could argue in some ways that they haven't even begun to deal with July 22nd, 2015 yet, because life never stopped. They were never given the room that they needed to grieve. There was a baby to raise who needed things to be as normal as possible. There were bills to pay, and the world wouldn't stop to give this family time to try to make sense of it all. There were 3 kids who now have no biological parents left in their lives. Those kids were forced to learn life's most brutal lessons way too young. The finality of death. And this wasn't an expected death or a timely death. This was a wrongful death. A death caused by the negligence of 4 doctors. And through that all, there was Rodolfo, just 30 years old, dealing with his own grief and dealing with his own pain, who made a promise to himself and to his deceased wife that he was going to do everything he could to try to give these children the best life possible.